Welcome, my filthy friends, children of the night. Welcome back to the Cradle of Filth discography review. We're going to skip around a little bit here, and in this case, we are gonna talk about the newest release, the newest old release by Cradle of Filth. That is Dusk in Her Embrace, the original sin. Now, for those of you who don't know, and I don't know why you'd be clicking on this link if you didn't, but the version of Dusk in Her Embrace that we've heard for 20 years now is not the actual original version that was recorded. The original Dusk in Her Embrace was written and recorded by the same lineup that recorded The Principle of Evil Made Flesh, but due to a split in the band, half of the band departing, and also the fact that they were in legal battle with their record label Cacophonous at the time, they decided to re-record it due to the fact that they had a new lineup and that they wanted the album to fully represent the direction that the new lineup was heading in, and thus that version, the original Sin version that we now have, was not released until the 8th of this month, this year. So let's talk about it. As y'all know, if you've been watching this discography review, I gave really high marks to Dusk in Her Embrace, the actual version that was released in '96. This version has a great deal of differences in it. The first thing you'll immediately notice is the track list is different. Instead of Humana Inspired to Nightmare, the introduction is called Macabre, This Banquet. Instead of the opener being Heaven Toward Asunder, the opener is Nocturnal Supremacy. The track list is different. Also, there's no Malice Through the Looking Glass on this version. But the differences in the sound will be that it's very much more guitar driven. The production is more raw. The sound more caters toward the black metal sound that they had during the Principle of Evil Made Flesh album. It's not quite as fine-tuned, I mean, even the Music for Nations version, the version that we're used to still has a kind of raw production, but this version is even more raw. This original version is, like I said, more catered to black metal. Is it better or worse? Which one would I recommend more? All depends on taste. Like I said, if there's people that think that Cradle of Filth, if there's people that don't really like the ear-shattering vocals, then this version will be more catered towards them. If there are people that like the rawer production, this version would cater more towards them. But basically, the tracks that are the same, are the same tracks. The basic structure of each track is the same as on the previous version, but here on this album, the nuances are different, if that makes any sense. John and Stewart added their own little guitar flourishes in it. The production, for instance, on this version, the original Sin version, in the track A Gothic Romance, right before the last thrashy part at the end of the song, instead of it just going right into that final riff, there's a dueling guitar solo right before it. Also, a lot of the lyrics are pretty different. Another thing you'll notice in Funeral in Carpathia, the little solo flourish, the little solo that's pretty much gone. But all in all, it's very similar and at the same time very different to the original Dusk and Her Embrace, which I keep getting confused with my words because this is actually the original Dusk and Her Embrace, but it was never released. And so when I say the original Dusk and Her Embrace, I mean the one that we've been listening to for 20 years now, the one that Cradle of Filth fans have been adoring. But this one, it's basically, in a nutshell, the same album with a different track list played by a different lineup with different production and a slightly different order of tracks. But it's the same basic idea behind it. It's the same songs, they're not, radically different in the way they're constructed and played. I'm a fanboy of the John and Stewart team, so therefore I still have to give the nod to the one we've been listening to for 20 years. But this one is a good historical piece of material. It's, like I said, it's just as good. I mean, some people will probably like this more than the older version of Dusk and Her Embrace. Some people will praise this who detracted from Dusk and Her Embrace previously. This is a very, very good release. Of course, they did, I'm actually glad they re-recorded it. I like the re-recorded version a little bit better. But this one is a great album too. I mean, it's the same album, so it's kind of hard to review it without overstating the facts. But to make this video short and sweet, yes, check it out. It's much different, but it's very much the same. Again, 96, 97 out of 100. I'm Agent Mad Hat. Peace, motherfuckers.